This is Smithy.tv.
Welcome back to the show. Have me on again sometime. I'll kill you.
Hey guys, welcome to Vintage Podcast. I'm the Lindsay Lewis.
I'm at Kevin Heron.
And joining us once again is...
Ryan_Mills.
At Ryan _
Sorry,
Mills.
at Ryan_Mills.
You suck, man. You suck. Ryan, this weekend, or whenever you're watching this, whenever we were hanging last at your place, we did a SummerSlam party.
Yes, we did.
And we bet on who wins all the matches, right?
Yep, every pay-per-view, Lindsay and I and Kevin and a
On
couple
occasion.
friends. On
Kevin
occasion.
no-showed it, by the way.
Yeah.
Heel turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Stone Cold.
Yeah.
He took your ball and went home.
We make up a little tally of, we try to predict who's going to win, whoever guesses the most.
And we've done it a bunch of
Wins
times.
the plastic WWE Championship belt.
And have you ever won it?
I am now the only participant who hasn't won the belt.
And who won it at SummerSlam? Because I can't remember.
I'm not sure. The Lindsay Lewis.
That would be right. That'd be me. And in fact, long story short.
Are you supposed to carry that around with you in airports?
I think it's on.
I debated bringing it today, but then I realized I'd have to bike here and just holding the title belt. I just think it'd be although it was Busker Fest outside, so it'd actually be
There's
funny
someone on stilts outside.
Yeah.
He's going, the champ's here, and you're like, screw you, guy.
I walked out of the subway to dinosaurs on stilts, so I think you're fine.
They're like,
Talking
welcome
about
to
the early
Busker
'90s
Fest.
show, Dinosaurs.
I wish. This is Earl.
But yeah, no. So what I was trying to segue to is we were watching SummerSlam, which is what we're going to talk about today. And I only got 2 matches wrong, and so I guess we can kind of break down this pay-per-view. The 2 matches that I got wrong were, and then we can kind of go through stuff you want. But was Rusev versus Ziggler. I called Ziggler winning just because I thought he needed to win. He just came back. And I can't remember who you picked, but
I had picked Rusev because he's lost so many, and losing again, just not.
But we both picked winners in this match, and I'm sure you would have too. And how did it end?
I'm trying to remember that one.
A
It was
double
count.
Double count. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And it was like kind of like I don't mind double countouts if it's like Battleground or something or Raw, but when it's a pay-per-view and people are paying $40 to likely $9.99 on WWE.
And you have
Network.
Ziggler. I mean, this is his first match back from injury.
Yeah.
Too, and just to have that happen.
And just to drag out the storyline, and then Rusev will probably win. I didn't like that, and so I don't count that as a lost point for me.
Yeah.
The other one I called wrong, and the only reason I predicted this was because it was the hot opener, as they kept saying, and they kept always using the word physical. Randy Orton versus Sheamus. The only reason I picked Randy Orton was because it was the opener, and I don't think you can start a pay-per-view with Sheamus winning a match.
Yeah.
Well,
go
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Don't be so
Such a
polite,
gentleman.
guys. Don't be so polite.
That match was for the most part, it's a very boring match. I mean, there were a couple of really good kind of out of nowhere RKO's, but like aside from that, I mean, and like there was like a tease of the punt, and but aside from that, like I did not think that it was entertaining at all.
And last pay-per-view, they had another match, like a Battleground, and they've had like 20 different matches in the last 2 years. Like, honestly, I think that's true.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I just didn't remember the match, and just I get Sheamus needs to win, and I'd rather him win that than cash in later on in the night.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I picked Sheamus to win. They're trying to elevate him. They're trying to make him a bigger heel. They're trying to give him a reason why he has. Trying to justify the reason why he has the Money in the Bank.
And saying that too, why didn't Rusev or Ziggler win? One of them should have momentum too. So just
Absolutely.
So there's a couple questionable decisions in that pay-per-view. Yeah. One of the
Sheamus is basically a heel against ratings right now.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, if you had to go one-on-one on the mic with him, my promo to Sheamus would be, it's like, Sheamus, I don't want to fight you. It's not that I'm scared of you. I care so much about the WWE Universe that I don't want to make them put you through a Sheamus match.
Easy there, Jon Stewart.
Yeah. He Jimmy, I go to his ratings. Has he drawn? People are questionable on Seth Rollins' reign right now. I think they're slowly doing good things with him.
I think it's excellent. I think Reigns is just he's such a classic heel right now. Oh, not Reigns, sorry, Rollins. Excuse me. I don't mean to insult him.
Strike one. There's only. And then
He's
RKO
such a
on the
classic heel, and I'm sure we'll talk about that match soon.
But so I think Rollins is like doing a really good job, and like they're actually taking him serious in these matches, and like the Lesnar thing's different because they were building up to this main event at SummerSlam, but Sheamus, I just don't see him drawing all that. So that match, it's good they got out of the way, but I honestly would have started with the next match, which is one of the best things that could have happened. They listened to us finally.
I don't know what you're talking about with the did primetime players retain? Is that what we're doing?
Primetime players did not retain.
Oh no, so it was Los Matadores then?
They also did not win the title.
Oh, then Lucha Dragons. They must have had their first major.
Yeah, let's congratulate them.
It wasn't them actually.
Are you saying
what?
that the New Day
Rocks?
Sucks.
Am I saying the power of positivity led to the second title reign of the New Day?
If I had a trombone right now, I would be
on Monday Night Raw.
I'd be tooting up a storm. Oh my god.
Let me just say, Sheamus, when he fought his match, he got a little mic time by saying, "Oh, you look stupid." And then the second New Day came out, they got this great promo.
Yeah.
The crowd was behind him, except for they were making fun of like hip hop and and they're in Brooklyn.
Can I just say as well? They were wearing white and gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bailey on the NXT the pay-per-view the night before was wearing white and gold.
Championship colors.
And you'll note that Seth Rollins as well.
The
white and gold.
White Power Ranger.
It's important color. It's very. It stands out too. Just visually looks cool. But no. So back on track. New Day comes out and they cut this amazing heel promo. I know we talked about them really good, but and you kind of know them, but did they come out? Did you kind of laugh? They're.
Are we talking about Raw? Or are we talking about SummerSlam?
We're talking about SummerSlam. New Day tag team match.
I think
they came out singing Alicia Keys, but changing it to
yeah.
New Day.
If you remember, I was trying to find the HDMI cord
to
to
basically
hook
all
up
the
to our
force trying to
TV.
order the WWE network.
So I was on the phone with Rogers, trying to order the WWE network, and just frantically while
and
you guys
the
were
question
watching
is,
the New Day.
when you're watching or
entertain
listening to
everyone.
this, has he canceled it yet? I don't know. He might have.
I was hoping I'd have Raw, but I found out the hard way that the network
Give
doesn't
him
have
Raw,
it.
or he's canceling.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, so they're in a fatal four-way. Jokes aside, they're in a fatal four-way. The match is good. There's a lot of good spots. That match should have actually opened the show. I think that would have been a hot opener, as they call it in the biz. But New Day, just their promo at the start, amazing, and then they had an amazing celebration, which is finally overdue.
The celebration I saw, and it was fantastic. Was it Kofi on the ground doing the?
Yeah, flopping like a fish.
He's just
My favorite thing is the night after SummerSlam on Raw, seeing a sign that said, "Yes, I said booty."
Yeah, I said booty. Yeah, because in the opening segment on their match at SummerSlam, they're like, "Yeah, we said booty," and they're dancing and shaking, and Big E his dance too, and just Xavier is just boisterous, and they're like, "Shut up!" He's. It's all great, and
just some of the things he was yelling in that match as well, from the outside. Xavier Woods, he is such a great cornet style, just barker outside of the ring. It's great, and it's awesome that he can work too, and he can carry a match himself. But just him outside screaming and yelling, and some of the stuff he was saying, just saying oh, it's a shame to happen to a nice guy like you, Darren Young, and saying things if you need a hamburger in this place, you got to go through Big E. You can't even get a hamburger here, I think is one of the things he said. Yeah. Just nonsense, but it was so entertaining.
And just constant.
His voice, he has such a great voice too.
And he's just he's so screechy, and it's amazing. And they won the match, and shenanigans or whatever, it didn't matter. The crowd was all for it. They were just there's no way to say they weren't the fan favorites in that match.
Yeah.
You know. And it's nice to see because you and I have been pretty supportive since almost day one with New Day. But and people slowly they weren't sure, but now it's I think it's the best thing going on. Seth Rollins I like, and there's some other stuff too, Jon Stewart maybe. But New Day right now really does rock.
Yeah.
And in fact, my pitch to you guys or WWE is take the Money in the Bank briefcase off of Sheamus and give it to the rightful owner, Kofi Kingston, aka New Day.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's a ratings that's a dream.
Give them the Intercontinental belt and the championship.
The U.S. belt and the Intercontinental, the
all of
Divas.
them. Yeah.
Give
they
them all the
deserve
gold.
it.
Yeah, they'll go back to NXT and just take all those
too.
Just go to ROH and TNA and
WCW recreated
Yeah.
so they can become the world heavyweight champion there.
Just
too.
look at old footage and just see like the New Day coming in.
Superimpose them in.
I think the ref should do a 3 count like the New Day clap. Like,
Yeah.
ding,
Oh,
ding, ding.
that'd be great, yeah.
So the match was actually like one of the better matches I thought on the
I
card.
agree.
They won it, so it's like finally, okay, Sheamus won, but this got the energy back in the crowd. That's when I started to enjoy SummerSlam. So they opened SummerSlam with a little guy who just retired off a TV show recently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of Jon Stewart, Ryan.
Yes, I have.
Are you a fan?
I am a big fan of Jon Stewart.
Did you like he had the retirement period?
Yeah, I had the
going on?
retirement period going on. Kind of had the face of a heel, you could say.
He might have at a certain point that night. He opened the show with he said
With
he's
Mick
gonna,
Foley, yeah.
With Mick Foley. It was fun little stuff. They did a little banter. I think it was like ended up being like 4 minutes, but
It was good. It just had an awkward ending where they just sort of like they're like
and he kind of acknowledged it too. Would you say he's kind
yeah
of like, okay, let's go. You're like, yeah, I think they're like, I don't know what to do.
yeah.
But would you agree that's a better start than Sheamus and Randy Orton? Like,
Oh,
on
yeah.
the show.
I would take like any awkward promo like from anybody, literally anybody aside from Sheamus.
Are you not entertained by Sheamus?
Oh my god.
The genesis of
Like-
McGillicuddy.
I would,
Oh, fella!
I would take an
Oh.
Uso match.
Oh, and we know if you don't know Kevin well,
Yeah.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Tag team John Cena's.
So Jon Stewart, was he done after the opening, or did he have more to do that night?
He
a
had
little
some backstage. He had actually a really great segment with Paul Heyman,
Yeah, he
where he
did.
went to go talk to Brock Lesnar, kind of setting up his position as a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
You know, wanting to give Brock Lesnar a piece of his mind
For ending the
for
streak.
ending the streak, and like, you know, saying that, you know, he's a wrestling fan, so he appreciates long-standing records and things like that, which may or may not come into play later on in the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the next
Brilliant.
night on Raw.
And yeah, they're just back and forth with Heyman and Stewart, which is very weird to say, was really good. It was just like they're both just like natural talkers,
Yeah.
and it was just
And
it
that's
was-
always a beautiful thing to see.
and it's funny to see like that one of the most interesting things on a wrestling pay-per-view was just talking from two non-wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was very odd, but I mean, speaks to the I guess the
I think it more speaks to the talent of like someone like Paul Heyman and Jon Stewart.
yeah,
You know, 'cause,
but
like,
yeah, and also I mean, like, it was
the wrong celebrity could backfire.
yeah.
You know.
And actually, speaking of celebrities, he wasn't the only TV star that was on the.
Perhaps are you talking about a Toronto actor?
I might be, yeah. Toronto's own
Stephen Amell?
Stephen
Amell.
Amell, yeah.
Actually, so I work at a casting place, and like a bunch of years ago, like 6-7 years ago, like when I started, he was doing like cell tapes and like casting stuff. So it was like cool to see him go on, and like he's like I've seen
Yeah.
like I know some of his friends, but like he's a nice guy and all that, and like he's good to go and he's ripped. But like when you see him in the ring compared to the other guys, you're like you really realize how in shape these WWE guys.
Oh
are.
yeah, because like he looked like
Like he still looked in shape, but like compared to like Wade Barrett,
Yeah.
you're like holy
Yeah.
crap! But you don't
They were
realize.
tiny.
it's weird because like I knew that like I know that dude's like really like he's in shape and he's obviously a much bigger guy than I am, but he looked in comparison he looked like me and like next to like even like Neville.
Yeah.
And like Neville, like I don't understand because he keeps saying he's like a smaller guy, and I guess he's a little bit shorter, but like dude
But
is
he
like
did, he's like I think he's got like it's like he's a smaller guy, but he's still like probably like 5'10".
yeah
And he's got like he's just muscular, but it's
yeah and but like he just looks like really like he's got like a Triple H body, but he's just shorter.
yeah. And but he's got the speed and it's amazing. But so to not get off track from Stephen Amell, but
Yeah.
it was one of those matches thrown together, and you kind of knew they might do it, but for like 2
Mhm.
weeks they did it, and I heard he was training. He actually like if you follow like certain sites, that like he like hurt his like tongue and all that, and he couldn't like talk very well. But like he's a guy who got a little bit of training time, but he's done
Yeah.
parkour and stuff like that. But how did you guys think he did in his match? Because
I thought
I was impressed.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
impressed by him. I thought he did a better job than Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
LT.
No, I mean, like, you know, I could have been. I could just, if I wasn't a wrestling fan, I put it on TV and saw him doing that. I'd believe that he was a
Not
wrestler.
yeah, and
It
you
was
know,
great.
everyone in that crowd did not know who he was.
Yeah.
They were still cheering for him. It wasn't like a pity cheer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were actually giving respect cheer.
He did a top rope crossbody outside of the ring.
Yeah.
As a guest. And
Yeah.
like that's pretty impressive. You know,
He
like,
held
like,
his
Next
own.
Jeremy Piven, you
Yeah.
could say.
Yeah.
You know? No, he was agile, and still at the same time, he didn't fully overshadow, like, giving the spotlight to Neville and, like, Barrett and Goldust, you know? And,
Stardust.
You get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say bring back Cody. Bring
Bring him back.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if they give him one more match in a couple months, maybe one more time, and maybe he puts, like Cody's name on the line or something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised at that, but he did a really good job, you know, and do you think someone like him helps bring in a couple of people that might not have watched?
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Comic book fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like CW fans.
Yeah.
Green Arrow's a show that there's
a lot of people watch.
Yeah,
And
a lot
if
of
you
people watch
legit-
him. I'm sure some people tuned in just to see him.
And if you go by the WWE's thing, like you get the network for $9.99, he might get someone like who's on the fence. They're like, oh, I like Arrow, the show, and like I'm curious with his entrance and all that. But I thought he did a good job, and I thought Neville got a lot of good showcase moments. And for a good 8 minutes or so match, like I rewatched it because when we were at your party, it's a little loud, but I rewatched it. I go like, it was surprisingly a really good match. For what for where it was positioned.
Yeah, and it wasn't too much, and like they let him do enough to show that, you know, he had some training and he was able to move around in the ring and he wasn't afraid to you know, just jump in there, but they didn't make him look inexperienced. You know, like I think it was a really good mixture. You know.
And I think it's good they didn't have him be the one to pin. I think it's a good way to get Neville kind of over, you know. And and Stardust didn't get pinned, so there's potential to either Neville versus him or Stephen Amell even.
So it wasn't like a David Arquette situation.
I still look. David Arquette's in the Scream series, so and WCW had Jeff Jarrett at that point as the champ, so I was okay with David Arquette winning. But no, jokes aside, Stephen Amell did a really good job. Congratulations, though. And like it's one of those things that you watch, you know, like because you see some people. I don't know if you watched Tough Enough. I feel like you watched a bit of it or seen a little clips of it.
I've seen clips, yeah.
But like I don't know if you watch it, but like no one really stood out. Where Stephen Amell, if he was better than anyone at Tough Enough.
Yeah.
I truly believe that in that match. Like anything better than the people who won or were in the finals. Yeah. So like Stephen Amell, like if someone, I think there was a joke tweet going, Stephen Amell, you're winner of Tough Enough. You know, like I'd be fine with that. Like it was great. Like if he retired from acting and went to wrestling, he'd get a contract like that.
I agree. Yeah. So like all in all, I think that was like a big success, and it's always very hit or miss with guests, especially in like pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Because then like sometimes you get a Drew Carey, you know, sometimes you get like a Dennis Rodman. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Karl Malone, Jay Leno, you know, all the WCW guys that had stuff.
Yeah.
And the fans could turn on it. It's a Brooklyn crowd.
Yeah.
He had very little time to impress them or not, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the right amount of time where it didn't, you know, didn't take away from anything. So the crowd was pretty positive. What did you guys think of the Divas match? Because there's been some controversy on Raw and that night because the night before, Sasha Banks faced Bayley, and it was actually a very entertaining match. I don't know if you saw it, but like it was one of probably the best match of the card, and I know a lot of people are saying it's one of the best Divas matches or women's matches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
The next night, Sasha's also in this match, but what did you think of that as a?
I was confused by it because the way it was billed was like a
elimination match.
3-team elimination match. So I was thinking that, you know, when somebody gets pinned, that individual is out.
I thought it was Survivor Series style.
Yeah, so that was my understanding. And then like when was it Tamina got pinned?
Yeah.
You know, they said, "Oh, Team Bad is eliminated." It's like
I was shocked too.
Okay.
I was asking, it's like, wait, what?
So to me, that just screamed that they were like concerned about time.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just decided, okay, instead of like doing this, we're just gonna do like a one fall and the team's done.
Or they just never made it clear to us, you know.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, and like because that I was under the impression it was elimination style.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought largely it was a decent match. Like I enjoyed, and like aside from the sort of lack of direction and
but that's an important factor though.
Yeah.
Like because you can't just have it's same with Neville. He's in trouble too, except for this is sort of a storyline.
For
you
sure.
don't have storylines or title matches in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of cheering for a revolution?
I'm enjoying the actual competitive nature of the division versus where it was like a year, 2 years ago. You know, and I just think they need to fine tune a couple things. They need to drop the diva moniker, and they need to.
That I don't think they can because of the TV show.
They've got to have. the
They gotta
Divas.
drop the strap off of Nikki. I think. I don't.
Well,
care.
they have to have a match other than a tag team match.
Like Teddy Long would be
You know
so
what I mean?
happy with the division right now,
Yeah.
but not with like.
When was the last time?
Apparently it was 2 months ago. It was in the last few pay-per-views.
And challenge them, like, bring them up individually. You know what I mean? Like, don't have tag team matches every Raw, every pay-per-view.
Every Raw and the last 3 pay-per-views, there's not been a
it's
Divas
getting
title
bad. It's
match.
getting almost disrespectful to them.
And I mean, there
It's
is
slap in the face to the fans too,
Yeah.
because the Divas are doing a good job, but there's only so much you can care when you're like, oh, it's a 3-on-3 or 1-on-1.
Yeah.
there is talk of bringing in a tag championship for the female division, which I think might help matters a little bit, because then it would make the constant tag team matches makes a little bit more sense.
Exactly.
But let me say this to you. I mean, you have people like Natty or Natalia. They right now technically only have 9 girls wrestling. If you have 2 championships and a Divas title, that's 3 title belts out of 9 girls, potentially 10.
Well,
or so.
that's when.
You need to have a lot more people who are ready to
Absolutely.
go. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely,
when Eva Marie, Atlanta, and Summer Rae are ready, I think they can do it. I think they got to wait a little while, but the main strap they have to make, they have to fight it. Like at Night of Champions, it will be defended because it's Night of Champions. But I think they need to give it to Charlotte or Sasha Banks.
Yeah, there's still a couple more lady wrestlers up in NXT that are going to eventually be able to come down too. So that's that's just going to build the roster, and like I mean, so long as they don't just kind of keep that finite number of like maybe like 10 active female wrestlers, like I think they can definitely add more championships to it. And I mean, like, I know we talked about this a couple shows ago, but like even if they were to make dedicate 1 hour to like a specifically diva driven wrestling show.
That's the same with
And if they get the talent to come in and they get a good championship structure, like with tag titles and like maybe like a mid-card title and then like the championship, it's not a bad idea, because that it feels like with Raws and with pay-per-views, like they sort of shoehorn it in and they don't make it feel special.
Yeah.
And if they were to do it like a separate entity, then it would at least that would warrant it being a revolution, because then they have their own show.
The main point to that, the counterpoint or point to that is, if you watch Brooklyn NXT Takeover or whatever the event's called, that match alone, there was storyline and they had everyone on the edge of their seat. Like that's a sign you got to do that. And so you can't say, oh, it's Sasha Banks. She got cheered like crazy. Yeah. The next night she still got stuff. The next night on Raw. So like I get they're upset. Like Paige and the Bella Twins, they were tweeting on Instagram and all that, and they were saying how like you guys we wanted us a revolution and now you're like turning on us. And I get that they're mad the fans were booing, but at the same time, I think that was them being vocal about no direction, because that's what they've been getting for years. So you're getting talented people that they're saying, hey, they are gifted, so they're admitting that now, but we're not getting stuff like that. So I think it's WWE treating fans stupid a bit, and so they're kind of going, we need a little bit more. It's the same with Neville, like I was saying, with like Stephen Amell coming in, it instantly helped him, because there's a little bit of they're fighting for some purpose.
Give purpose,
So I do think with Night of Champions coming up, that's a very important night, because the title is on the line, because whether it's a triple threat or something like that, but I think I know they want AJ to lose her title reign, her like the most days, but is that worth the Divas division having Nikki still be champion? I don't think so.
Yeah, and but the thing that gets me is like for somebody, and maybe if they're pissed off with AJ leaving and like
that's just backwards thinking.
Her affiliation with CM Punk, obviously being married to him, like maybe there's some bad blood there, but like just for the sake of business, why have somebody like Nikki carry it through? It doesn't make sense, because you could have somebody who is like a proven.
I say go Sasha Banks. She can be a great heel there.
Yeah.
And the fans will get behind her. So I think she can.
Yeah.
And she proved that. Like I don't watch NXT that much, but she proved it.
Yeah.
Like at that pay-per-view, like
she's
one
great.
of the matches of the year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what happens Night of Champions, and we'll talk about that in the coming weeks and all that. Okay, but kind of forgettable match, I have to be honest, because I was also surprised. I don't know about you. Like I heard elimination, I thought, oh, so they're down to 2 people. No, they're eliminated. It's like so it took you by surprise. And my guess was still going to be like Paige's team was going to win, and I think we all were saying that at the party. But it was surprising me, and then it just like It was just kind of lackluster and
Yeah.
not terrible.
It just felt
lackluster.
like a typical Monday Night Raw
Yeah.
Divas match.
Because you've been seeing so many of them,
Yeah.
right?
Monday Night SummerSlam.
So since we're talking about that, before I forget that point, in the New Day tag team match, they've done something which for years I've always wondered. If you tag in someone, they finally found the loophole in that you tag anyone in.
Yes.
They tag each other in, or like they both got tagged in.
Yeah.
And they tried to pin each other, which is amazing. I was so happy they did that.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy it was New Day. What did you think of that, you guys?
I thought it was great, and I love the fact that like the announcers were just kind of like, well, it's not against the rules.
Yeah,
Like,
I like it. Like, you can't. Why would you be mad at them? You're like, good for you. Like, it's New Day to a T.
yeah.
It's like, I'm glad. It's like, if that ever happened in a match, it was New Day, and I can't wait for more shenanigans.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, they're such. It's such a fresh, like they're such fresh characters right now in wrestling. Like you need something like that. Everyone was booing them because it was like,
It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
It's the same
but
way people.
they've taken this and they've kind of put their own spin on things, and they're really funny. And I think they're naturally funny guys.
Yeah.
You boo Cena.
And
but-
now they're doing wacky things in the ring that's leading to this, like finding
Yeah.
loopholes
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
They're making me laugh. They're entertaining me.
That's the
and
thing.
like the same with Big Show made a comment. People saying you should retire. They would never say that to him in person. I think it's a fun thing to chant. People may boo Cena, but like I think they respect him. And like New Day at that point, they're like doing that chance because it was getting to them. You know what I mean? So just like I'm excited to see where they go with that. But I want to remember that. That was a great thing. Before we talk about the two big key matches.
Oh, there's another really forgettable match too.
Oh, I know. So we're gonna quickly go. Let's just skate over some of the matches really quickly. Family versus family. Is this the match we want to talk about?
That's a match that I forgot about a couple
And this was
times
like apparently
talking
their
about
third
it,
biggest hype match. They thought
Yeah.
it was supposed to be. Wyatt versus the Shield family brother or brother.
Yeah,
whatever you wanna call it.
which I thought would have been a perfect moment to reveal Dean Ambrose as being the newest Wyatt.
I was waiting.
Sorry.
I chose.
Funny
I think
story.
I chose the Wyatt family.
That whole match, which was let's just say 15 minutes, when we make these predictions and all that, Ryan was just like he predicted the Wyatts would win, but he's like Dean's turning on for 50 minutes straight, and then we kept making fun of him for the rest of the night. We're going like the night's not over, maybe Dean turns on him for no reason. But yeah, I think like you were saying, Kevin and Ryan, you were predicting they thought this would be a perfect chance at SummerSlam. And then, like the next night on Raw, just like why did they do that? What they did on Raw at the SummerSlam.
Exactly. To me, that would have made more sense.
But they wanted Roman to have a big SummerSlam victory 2 years in a row. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like SummerSlam is his new event. Maybe next SummerSlam he'll finally challenge for the title. I don't know. But forgettable. I will say the last 3 minutes or so wasn't a bad sequence. It was a good closing sequence. But other than that, I don't think I'll ever need to watch it again.
Yeah.
It wasn't a classic.
No, it was. And they just buried Bray further.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's an interesting spot because he can still do amazing things, but it's like maybe turn him good guy. I don't know. At this point, like there's.
I don't know if you can.
You can. Oh, he's so good on the mic. He'll get you.
Yeah, yeah. And it just largely, I don't think I need to watch it again. Largely forgettable, and like just nothing really was at stake as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just it's like a Divas match, it just
Unfortunately, like
it was just unfortunately just with like 4 really talented people in the ring, they just it was just like a filler. It was a time filler.
Although we did get something new. We got the new Roman Reigns drinking or making a phone call with his hand, and like him and Dean cheers him with phones. It made me laugh, and it was just so silly. But it was like, he's trying, like he's getting at least more confident in his abilities to do stuff. But it was just such a silly like bro thing to do. I was like, I didn't know if it was a beer or a phone call, and it just made me laugh. And like I would rewatch it like GIFs or whatever they call it, like.
I did see video of people cheering for them, like how they like entered through the just Dean Ambrose apparently has a moniker of being his name is the Titty Master.
yeah.
So like
online they call him Titty Master.
A bunch of people were just like chanting Titty Master at him, and like Roman was just like pointing at him and like giving thumbs up.
Okay, maybe I'll like it's one of those pay-per-views I feel like maybe like closer to the end of the year I might watch again. So it might be an interesting match to watch again for stuff like that.
Well, it's just somebody filmed it on their phone.
Yeah.
Like before
so it's
they
like
went
it's
out.
on That's awesome. So not a terrible match, but kind of like forgettable and all that. Before we talk about the two big matches, I think there's only one or two more to talk about. Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. This is a match you're like, this is gonna be like match night or steal and stuff. What did you think of that match?
It's
Ryan?
been underwhelming. I thought it'd be the match that I thought it'd be over. Well, bold prediction, but I thought it'd be close to half an hour.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a big match. They can do a lot. It was good. I thought both wrestlers, in my opinion, two of the most talented wrestlers in the WWE right now.
Yeah.
And it was all right. I don't know. I don't have much to say about it.
Couple really good spots, but I think as a whole, it wasn't either of their best matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I always like seeing Kevin Owens do like a moonsault, or like springboard moonsault, or like that springboard like Superman uppercut thing that Cesaro does, like where just like springs himself off, and I think that just looks awesome when he does it, and it just because he hits it so perfectly.
I actually thought, sorry to interrupt you, I actually thought this match should have happened at Night of Champions, because I thought it was close to being built to a pay-per-view match, but I don't think it was ready, because it was kind of that meandering in the middle where it's like we started to have a season storyline. And the other part is the 2 nights before, it's the same issue I had with Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens. Is the night before, or that day, I actually watched, I don't know if you've seen it, Tokyo. It was Balor versus Kevin Owens, and that match is really good. That it was like neither match topped that, So if you don't know if you've seen that, you should check that match, and you should also check out Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I heard that was good.
Those two matches are something to see.
Yeah, I think they need to have, and it could work with either one of those two guys, but have one of them face Ryback and beat him for the Intercontinental title, because he's not doing that title
speaking
any
of which,
favors.
that was a match too.
That
was the other match I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Triple threat.
Yeah, again.
I think Cesaro especially.
Miz is killing that match, by the way. I don't care what it says.
Miz, I'm liking Miz a lot.
Miz TV hashtag all the time now, if you want. Like, give him a little bit more direction, and just don't make him good guy for another long time. I think he's like the guy that we underestimate all the time, and like I've always liked the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Adversity through guys like JBL kicking him out of the locker room and all that. Like, good on the guy, and he was great in that. Any other points to Kevin Owens and Cesaro?
Just that I think, like we said, it was just underwhelming for those two guys. I think they knew that there were bigger things going to happen that night, so like there wasn't going to be.
They also they followed and we won't spoil the ending, although you know what it is. They've followed the Rollins Cena fight. That's a hard thing to top. It wasn't like there was no segment in between. It was kind of like they went right into it. So I think the fans needed.
And then they were leading into Rock and Taker.
Undertaker versus the Beast. So I thought it was an okay match.
It was a very like old school type of match, like good, like very great, two good technical wrestlers fighting each other. Nothing bad, nothing good happened. But it's a very average match. I was expecting a lot more though. But given at the same time, they really didn't build up anything into their match, right? At all, other than I think Cesaro came down to help someone.
Orton probably.
Yeah, I think it was Orton. Or Sheamus. Yeah.
It's and I think like on Raw the next night they really show Cesaro, actually for the first time I really saw him show emotion in that 8-man match that I cared nothing about, but like he was really like happy with Orton and all that, and like it's just moments like that are great. But I think this match, if that match happens at Night of Champions, I think there'll be more at stake to it, and I think they'll get a few more minutes and more like care package and like the promo. It'll be good. Quickly on the Miz versus Big Show versus Ryback. It happened. Did the right guy win?
No.
Who did you guys want?
Miz.
I picked Ryback to win. I wanted Miz to win. I wanted to be wrong. And after seeing like him go back and forth trying to pin guys, and he was funny in it.
I know that they've been trying to elevate the Intercontinental title, and maybe having Miz win it.
The cursed title, I mean.
Would have brought it down a little bit. So, but I think everyone was rooting for Miz. He was the clear underdog in that match.
Yeah. And he was losing.
To have him win it and him be this kind of like Rollins-ish type of.
But also knowing how the Rollins match and and who won the tag team championships, I get that they need a good guy right now to have the title.
Well, no, I mean like Miz is so good on the mic, and he could go like he.
But they see a lot in Ryback, so I understand.
But he could have like started telling everyone, "Hey, I beat Ryback and Big Show. I beat 2 people to win this."
Yeah.
and someone then coming
by
out and challenging him or something
shenanigans
like
too,
that.
like
It could have furthered the storyline, brought the belt up a little bit as well, even though I just kind of contradicted myself there, saying bring it down if you want. But there could have been ways to bring it up again.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a bad match, but I think like Kevin said, it happened.
Yeah.
We forgot about it until you accidentally said, he's kind of like, I was like, oh, that happened.
Yeah. I forgot about it too. It was
the spot where he's trying to pin Big Show and Ryback over and over again.
And it wasn't just once or twice; it was amazing.
It was great.
Like you got tired watching it. You're like, I feel bad for the guy. He must have been gassed after that. That match happened. Now let's talk about the two key matches. Yeah. As much as they wanted Family versus Family to be the third big one, that didn't happen. So Jon Stewart may or may not appear in this match. John Cena, United States Champion, versus Seth Rollins, WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Guys, what do you think of this match?
I really liked it. I thought it was match of the night, and
above and beyond.
First of all, I know a lot of people kind of weren't really digging Seth Rollins' white.
I loved it.
I thought it was great. I thought it was
boy band level, or like just it's made him stand out. Like,
it kind of looked like the White Power Ranger, to be honest with you.
It was. I thought it was. I really liked it, and it sort of to me made me think that he was the babyface in the situation, and
because Cena's jorts were what color?
They were black.
Yeah. Classic villain.
He was wearing the heel colors, and I just think like it was good to see like an old Seth Rollins, because like his whole heel persona has been very chicken shitty and like just sort of like winning by the skin of his teeth kind of deal, and like just kind of abandoning a lot of what made him really unique to watch in the Shield. So like he did a lot of his more aerial attacks, and like just was a lot more well-rounded looking in this match than I think
he looked like a contender.
Yeah.
And looks like he deserved it.
Yeah, like it was a lot more competitive than we've seen him in the last like probably almost a year.
I think up until like my favorite match of the year, other than Virgil versus the Internet, is in fact Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That match is still my favorite. I get people like the Bayley match and Sasha, but this match to me is my favorite. And I know Kevin Owens versus Cena is good. That's my favorite match of the year so far. Yeah. This was the next level for Cena and Seth Rollins.
It was great. I loved it, and I thought that they both just put so much into it, and like there was that one sequence that Rollins did with the suplex off the top rope, and then like it turned it into like an immediately like another suplex, and it worked so well. It was like a tiger bomb almost.
Yeah. But it was like consistent right away. It was like
Yeah, it just I thought it was great. Anyway.
And the other thing, a part of that match where it was by accident, was the nose thing really helped sell the story a bit.
Yeah,
because it made it personal even more, and also the fact that you had 15 times John Cena's won the title, even though his shirt said 15, so clearly he's not going to just get rid of a 15-year-old shirt or the shirt that says 15.
Yeah.
And then he says, Triple H, I can beat you by like beating Seth Rollins, and then so that adds so much to it. And then just the finish where he flips out of Cena's AA and then he does the AA. Crowd's got it. He misses a move and then John's and hits the ref. And then we get to our closing sequence. I know some people are 50-50 on this. And the main event of the night I actually thought had a worse booked ending. But I thought this worked. And like on Raw they continued with it. But
I was more surprised by this one than...
Now we said it's a joke. I was like... He's gonna do it. He's gonna hit Cena like as a joke. We're saying it, and then when he did it,
I was fully expecting Flair to come down and do something.
Not stupid,
but I think a second before that we were
jokingly
joking.
Saying, going like, Jon Stewart came down. Angle together. I think it worked because he had worked with Seth before, but also the Raw explains it, and because of you were saying Paul Heyman thing. Yeah. That was a good little cursor to what was gonna happen that night. Yep. But it was like. It was good enough, and their goal was to be talked about. SummerSlam apparently had their most talked about like ratings in like Twitters and tweets and all that. And people like Variety and all these like sports channels were talking about Jon Stewart costing John Cena the Golden Boy, who just granted 500 wishes, his 16th title reign.
And it's just such a classic distraction too. A guy, ref gets knocked out, someone comes down to the ring. Yeah. It's a good guy with a chair, and the bad guy wins.
Yeah, and like
it's so classic. It was great.
And because it was Stewart and like Rollins had that angle, they're like, oh, he's gonna hit Seth Rollins, but maybe cost John Cena by accident. And it's like, no, because
everyone thought Jon Stewart was a good guy.
But maybe he is a good guy. He was just trying to say what he thought was right.
Yeah,
And
maybe John Cena's the heel in this situation.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So before we talk about the main event of
Black
SummerSlam,
shirts.
let's quickly talk about going into the next night. Jon Stewart actually explained himself, and he said he did it.
That he couldn't stomach having Ric Flair's his I guess
15
record
time.
being 16-time championship record being matched by the likes of John Cena.
Especially against Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Like a guy, he said, I didn't do it for Rollins. I did it because I didn't want Seth Rollins or like.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and he came in with like, and I wouldn't say that those were like evil intentions. So for John Cena to do what he did, which was pick up a guest and somebody who's not a wrestler.
I love how you're selling
He's
this
in his
right now.
mid-50s.
You're
And-
turning this into.
Yeah, and then like inflict physical pain on him. I'm saying John Cena is a heel. He is a dastardly heel, and he needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
But I will say this: WWE really respects Ric Flair. So the fact that John Cena shook his hand, I think that was their way of saying. And you have to give it to Cena or whoever wrote this line when Jon Stewart said, "I did this because you got to understand. I did it because I'm a fan." And then John Cena says, "I get it, and I hope that makes me know you understand this." And he did that. I thought that was not a full heel thing. It's just like you had this coming. You know what I mean? You cost me a title.
Yeah.
I can't forget it.
He's kind of like, I understand, but there's something I got to get off my chest.
Yeah, and then bang.
Yeah.
Will we see Jon Stewart again? Maybe.
Oh, probably.
I hope so.
They should make him GM.
Oh, I was thinking instantly. It's like if he could do a 3-month run as GM,
Yeah.
perfect. If John Laurinaitis can do it,
Yeah.
Jon Stewart has proven at SummerSlam.
People power.
Yeah, people power. Stewart Nation.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
make it happen. I thought, and later on that night, you thought maybe John Cena would attack Seth Rollins and his statue. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But no, Jon Stewart was solid for a celebrity guest. Sometimes they just do it for the promotion or a check.
Mhm.
That was not what it was, and you know what I mean. Like his son must have loved it. They're both big wrestling
Yeah,
fans.
absolutely.
That's why it was fun to see Jon Stewart do that. Because you know how big of a wrestling fan he is.
Yeah.
And him just being in there and getting...
And that's
Yeah.
why Stephen Amell and Jon Stewart worked. Is it felt sincere, like they
Yeah.
wanted to be there, they cared.
Yeah.
They were part of the show, and you can rewatch SummerSlam again, and those are two of the moments you'll want to see again.
Yeah, exactly.
Which leads to
But yeah, our main event of
SummerSlam.
yeah.
Summerfest. Jimmy
Summerfest.
Fivens. Summerfest.
So okay, as a whole, leading up to the finish, not including the finish, but leading up to, how was the match?
I loved it. I thought Undertaker looked a lot better
Then
than
WrestleMania. 30.
WrestleMania. I mean, he was concussed.
Even better than Bray Wyatt
Yeah.
was injured apparently in their match at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
But he looked better in the last two pay-per-views. To be fair though, a 4-hour show, I was starting to kind of fade. So it's a match I would like to watch again. But what I saw seemed pretty good. The finish I hated, but
The finish was absolutely terrible.
But what he's asking is the match. But the match was pretty good because I had to rewatch
The match itself, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I thought both wrestlers took their bumps.
Yeah.
Both
They
did
had the
well.
crowd.
Like Undertaker, I was concerned about how him running out of stamina. It was like-
Yeah.
He seriously looks like he's so winded up there. But he held his own for a guy who's 50 years old.
And when
Against
he,
Brock Lesnar.
Are you saying Brock Lesnar was possibly going to kill him?
Well, he would have to. He would have to first.
He would have to.
Yeah.
You're going to have to.
But also the part where Lesnar mocks the Undertaker and he sits up.
Yeah. Oh, the laugh, the creepy laugh. Oh my
That's-
His
god.
eyes
that's
bulged
what-
out of his head.
Is it
Great.
GIF or GIFs? I don't know, but
It's technically a GIF, but it's just called
That
a
spot
GIF.
was
that's gonna
fantastic.
be used
I'm
on the
sorry.
internet. That's gonna be used over and over again. I feel like Vince McMahon, that clip should be mixed with that. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
And maybe Kofi Kingston doing this. But there were so many great moments at SummerSlam. But that moment when he laughed at him and he just like mocking him, it was so funny. And everything's going great and wonderful. And like you felt like it was leading. I thought there was gonna be another 5 minutes. I thought they were leading to like a big couple false finishes. I picked Undertaker to win the match. And then
I guess it could have gone either way, because technically...
yeah, so technically there was 2 winners in this match. The only loser was the fans.
There we go.
For the finish. But so Brock Lesnar, after like a big brawl back and forth, gets him in the Kimura lock,
Yep.
and we don't see it. And out of nowhere, we hear the bell ring,
Yeah.
which makes no sense.
which makes no sense because when does a bell keeper ever call the match at the end?
Okay. Yeah, and my problem with that is where the timekeeper is located.
he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like on the same side as the ref.
Unless they show footage from the big screen where he's like doing this.
Unless it was Paul Heyman saying like he's tapping, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just like it.
Yeah, apparently Paul Heyman booked this too, and I get they got people talking about it, but talking doesn't always mean it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It means people going like I felt ripped off.
Yeah. So
a classic ending. You're like, I get it's not WrestleMania, but it's the next.
It didn't make sense. So there was that, and then when he finally puts him in a Hell's Gate, beautiful middle finger shot of Brock Lesnar. Yeah. That was awesome.
But then he passed out like
he passed out,
away.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but
he didn't even check his arm.
Isn't he supposed to raise his arm 3 times?
Yeah. Or even checking him once, but he did.
Well, he just kind of rolled over to the side.
He did the middle finger.
Yeah.
For a few seconds, he did like the badass, and then he fell asleep. The second his eyes closed, the bell rang.
And I've never seen that.
And it was a win by submission. He didn't submit. It was not
pass out. He passed out. Yeah. He couldn't continue. It was like whatever. But it was just the fact that they had 2 things in a row that you've never seen happen or shouldn't happen, and it was just like there's other ways they could have slightly like tweaked it,
Yeah.
And so just like it was just like, and then they show. So at first the audience doesn't see it, so we're just confused. Then they show the thing, and at that point, the live crowd, I'd be pissed off because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then the crowd at home gets a little quicker what's going on, but it was just like one of those. You tarnish what could have been. I get they want to do a 3rd match, but you ruined something that would have been a potential like a bigger classic.
The problem is the only person that got heat in that was the Timekeeper.
Yeah.
Good
for you, man.
And like
I hope you get a big check.
There's no reason for it at all, and it was basically just like a giant Vince Russo like.
Shades of WCW.
Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting them to have like Paul Bear's corpse on a forklift match. Like. It was just.
It sucks that because the match was a lot better than their WrestleMania one. It was better than the Bray match.
It was 10 times better than the WrestleMania.
And had the finish been different, then it would have been close to matching Cena and Rollins maybe.
Yeah.
We'll never know. And the funny part is both those matches had interesting finishes, but otherwise good matches. And the Rollins one works because I think the right guy was going to win anyways. But the Taker one is just like they did everything. Yeah. I get what they're going for. They did it just really, really wrong.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, you have 3 major pay-per-views a year. So it's SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
And
right?
people used to debate Survivor Series. Not anymore.
No.
Let's be real. Money in the Bank, I think, is now the
money. Yeah, but you have to have.
Then Sheamus happened. Sorry, I had to get my Sheamus dig in.
But with those, you have to end really strong on those 3. At least those 3 pay-per-views. The other ones, whatever, you could do weird, stupid.
Like Ziggler versus Rusev.
Yeah, finishes. Or screw jobs or general fuckery or whatever. But
And sorry to interrupt you. That was why I got mad at the Rusev thing even more. That's 3 false finishes on the 3rd biggest show of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
It just I think it diminished the feel of the pay-per-view because I was pretty positive on the pay-per-view the whole way through until
Power
that
positivity.
Finished. Yeah. And then I just immediately after that I think I tweeted on our account at least New Day are champs.
Yeah. Which is I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, and it was just it made no sense. I was watching with my fiance because I didn't go to the party, but
I don't know if she listened to the show, but she had a birthday the other day. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, it was, yesterday was her birthday.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Yeah. So she was watching and she's turned to me and she's like, I thought it was going to be more exciting. I was like, I'm sorry, you just sat through 4 hours of this.
And you're like it's a big finish, and it's just if it was Battleground, do it. If it was Money in the Bank, hell, do it. But just if anything, then put the Cena match at the end.
Yeah.
Because at least Stewart. Then they end with everyone talking about positive buzz because Jon Stewart, he's from there.
Talking about positive, they should have had the tag match at the end.
Oh, I was all for. I was like, you could have ended that show with that.
That was the biggest pop of the night. Well, aside from Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just there were some really positives of the show, but little things like that are so sour on the event.
Yeah.
That you're kind of it was legitimately our event where it's a cool match. We had the lights off for it, and then it's people are just kind of winded because not just because it's a 4-hour show, but you're kind of going.
That's it.
That's it. That's really bad.
That's how it's ending.
I get people are going to be like, well, tune in tomorrow. I get that's what they want, and they want people to talk. But you knew people were going to talk about Stewart if you're going to do 2 crappy finishes. And they should have switched the order.
Yeah, and I mean, we talked a little bit about Raw, and we talked about the John Cena, Jon Stewart altercation. Now, you touched on a little bit earlier as well that when Seth Rollins won, he was promised by
Triple H, the
authority, that he was going to have like a bronze statue at the WWE headquarters commemorating his achievement.
And that's why people are going, well, maybe Seth Rollins won't win because they wouldn't make a statue for him.
Yeah. But I mean, like in record time, I mean, like in a night, the authority made the statue.
In record time, they've been making it.
Like,
for
I mean,
yeah.
I've only done like a few sculptures in my storied artistic career. And I mean, I gotta say that's pretty record time to have a life-size statue made.
Yeah.
So they wheel this thing out, and I mean, I kind of watched just like the highlights because I didn't want to subject Brandy to another 3 hours after watching a disappointing 4 hours the night before. So I was looking through, and they did their promos, and I didn't really get the gist of the promos. It was kind of fast forward to the sweet spot.
But before this promo, Seth Rollins comes backstage, and they Triple H and Stephanie look at it, and like they see Seth coming. So we see the statue, which is weird because you think the big unveiling is seeing the statue. So like we saw it already. Then they hide it and they bring it to the ring. This is the promo you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So we have this big black box of the Seth Rollins statue that we've already seen, but now it'll be unveiled to the whole crowd. And in this promo, Triple H is saying how it's great, and Seth Rollins is just saying how wonderful he is, and he's doing a good job at it. And then
and then so the moment comes where they have to reveal the statue, and the drum roll, and everyone's really excited.
And also, sorry, before you say this, Jon Cena earlier in the night, after he heard a guy who was just a guest, Jon Stewart, after he AA'd him, he talked to Renee backstage. He's like, now I'm going to go meet up with Seth Rollins. So Jon Cena's probably going to come down and beat him up, right?
Yeah, I was fully expecting Cena to be...
Amadou!
Jon Cena.
Oh, and also, sorry, before I know but Jon Stewart going, he's doing the "You Can't See Me" sign. He goes like, he can still see me. He was just great with Ric Flair.
Yeah,
great stuff. Sorry, so to continue. So Seth Rollins is praising himself.
Yeah, so they're about to unveil the statue, and they draw the curtain down on that was covering the statue, and there's no bronze statue there, and what is there in place of that is an old man. An old man with makeup that is melted off of his face because he's been underneath a blanket for 18 minutes.
The vigilante.
And he's pissed off. And
he stood so still. I never saw that thing move at all.
I think he just appeared.
So he touched the curtains. We are, of course, talking about the vigilante, the man called Sting from Venice Beach, California. The thing is, at first, for 1 second, I thought when Sting was revealed and like Seth Rollins, everyone sold it well. They're going, "Oh crap!" I thought it was a statue, and it's the man called Sting. At first when I saw the makeup not be there, I went, "Oh, that's their way of saying he's been tormented from losing at WrestleMania." I thought they were actually going long term, but then I realized. He was just sitting there for 18 minutes, sweating, and most of it was there, but all his head stuff was there.
Did you notice that they did their best to hide the bald spot this time?
They did, yeah. I think they Sean Connery in Thunderball they spray painted Sean Connery on his hair.
You can still kind of see a little bit, but it's grown out a bit more.
Yeah.
But he really does just look like a mafia. Sort of like an old Italian mobster.
It's time to call it. He's in great shape for his,
Would you support a bald Sting?
I would.
I would too.
Just give him a cap, you know? I don't know. It'd be weird to see because you've never seen him without hair. But
we're getting there.
Wait, sorry, I say that. We did sort of see him without hair at WrestleMania. My thing with this segment is because it builds. Here's the thing where WWE is flawed. They're always conveniently right after that happened. Triple H is saying he's going to talk to the backstage people. Are how do they know ahead of time this is going to happen? And then Triple H right away apparently he announced on that after the show. He's like Sting versus Rollins at Night of Champion. You're like, so he knew all around that this was a main event. And it's just little things like that. But because of this match, I really and you and I talked about WrestleMania. I don't think Sting should have lost.
Yeah.
And this is another proof because now they're in a bind. Does Sting win the title against Seth Rollins And also, does Seth Rollins challenge his U.S. title for someone? And if Seth Rollins were to retain, that means Sting lost his two only matches in WWE.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I mean, like, even if he wins it, you know, like, they're not. He's not going to be a consistent member of the roster. He's going to be around every once in a while.
I think we've sort of talked about the scariest thought, and we both know where we're going with this.
I
Is
know.
there's a guy who has a briefcase, and it's not New Day, which it should be.
Yet.
It's I can't wait for New Day. If some reason Sheamus challenges New Day.
Let's hear it for New Day.
And then, P.S. The crowd was cheering New Day. New Day rocks. Sheamus, either if Sting wins, Sheamus pins him that night, or it's leading towards Triple H or Triple H versus Sting at WrestleMania. Sting wins, Sheamus cashes in.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's 2 cashes in WrestleManias in a row.
Yeah.
So the worry is if Sting wins, something like shenanigans happens, or Seth Rollins wins because Triple H cost a Sting match. Sting forgets about Rollins.
I think Sting can still win, but not win the belt by disqualification or something like that. I don't think the title's going to change over.
And because it's not SummerSlam, they can go with a straight finish. All I'm saying is, where's Lex Luger?
Yeah.
Where's Lex Luger? So it's going to be an interesting night of champions. I know people thinking, oh, your main event talk is Sting. The last thing I'd like to talk about is the celebration of New Day coming down to the ring on Raw on Monday night. To me, this is the main event of the show.
It was pretty spectacular.
Kofi Kingston, Big E came out celebrating. You're like, well, this is great, but someone's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they introduced him. Who was missing?
It'd be Mr. Xavier Woods, PhD. And he comes out with a trombone.
Uh-oh.
And he's actually, if that was actually him playing, I was pretty impressed.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah. And it was funny.
It was very funny. It was very good.
And just like they killed it the night before with the singing of like Alicia Keys styles of New Day, and then New Day instead of New York. Brilliant. And then then the heels. I know that they're supposed to be cheered for. The Dudleys reappeared.
Yep.
And you don't mess with New Day. That's what I'm going to say right now.
No, they came down and
disrespected some furniture.
Yeah, they didn't respect the furniture and
Xavier Woods is
Xavier Woods. Yeah, he got 3D'd through a table, and it was a sad day for New Day.
But I will say this: at Night of Champions, it'll either be triple threat with primetime players, New Day and Dudley Boys. Don't even think about taking those titles off of New Day.
No.
That would be foolish. You agree. Kevin agrees.
Yeah.
I agree. The WWE Universe agrees.
Yeah.
New York
well
City, Brooklyn agrees.
Yeah, they're not gonna just like bury them that quickly again.
No.
I think what the Dudleys are going to do is exactly what I was going to say New Day, what Badass Billy Gunn and Road Dogg were trying to do for Ascension.
Yeah.
So I think it's like their supplement or whatever the right word is. Like they're just like trying to help build them up to a big win. And they're so damn entertaining that they should main event Raw. Mm-hmm. They should have the Money Bank briefcase. And if Seth Rollins can't draw as a champion, you know where I'm going with this. Jon Stewart managing the New Day.
Oh, I'd love it. I would absolutely
That'd
love
be amazing.
So first off, if you haven't listened to our Virgil Palooza episode, we have to keep promoting this. We have a hashtag Virgil yes, hashtag Virgil no.
We're trying to get him on the podcast.
Check out the episode to see exactly what we're talking about. Also, you can check us out on the old Twitter. Follow us. You are on Twitter, right?
Yes, I am. You can follow me at Ryan_Mills.
He promises he'll give you okay tweets as
entertaining
Sheamus.
Not that bad.
He's not that bad. That's great.
And we have
at Lindsay Lewis.
At Kevin Herron.
And our Twitter account together is
at Vintage Podcast.
During Raws and pay-per-views, we like to tweet out, so feel free to tweet us back or retweet us and all that.
Just follow us and on iTunes, rate, review, subscribe.
Either look for us under the Smithy channel or under
on YouTube as well. We are
on YouTube under the Smithy account, and check us out, watch us there, do all the fun stuff. Virgil, again, come on down. We don't just talk about New Day, we'll talk about fuck money, whatever you want to talk about. Again, I don't like swearing too much, but it's worth saying fuck money over and over again to get you here. Olive Garden, I think there's an Olive Garden somewhere in Ontario. Guys, thank you for watching. Let us know also what you guys thought of SummerSlam and the Raw after, and do you guys like Sting winning the WWE Heavyweight Championship? Sting is a good way to end the show, except there's only one other way to end the show, Kevin, and how's that? Thanks for watching, guys.